The Intercept did an analysis of the new military budget, and look at their conclusion. One of the most controversial proposals put forward by Senator Bernie Sanders during the 2016 presidential campaign was a pledge to make tuition free at public colleges and universities. Critics from both parties howled that the pie-in-the-sky idea would bankrupt the country. Where, after all, would the money come from? Those concerns were brushed aside Monday night as the Senate overwhelmingly approved an $80 billion annual increase in military spending, enough to have fully satisfied Sanders' campaign promise. Wow. Instead, the Senate handed President Donald Trump far more than the $54 billion he asked for. The lavish spending package gives Trump a major legislative victory, allowing him to boast about fulfilling his promise of a great rebuilding of the armed services. The bill would set the U.S.'s annual military budget at around $700 billion, putting it within range of matching the spending level at the height of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Holy shit. Or with $80 billion a year, you could make public colleges and universities in the U.S. tuition free. In fact, Sanders' proposal was only estimated to cost the federal government $47 billion a year. Oh my God, man, this is so crazy. If the additional military spending over the next 10 years instead went to pay off student debt, it could come close to wiping it out entirely. But proposals like that are written off as non-starters even by Democrats. In her new book, Hillary Clinton compares Sanders' idea to him nonsensically saying, Americans should get a pony. And while concerns about the cost of ponies abound, a few Democrats are raising similar concerns about military spending, even when it is meant for a commander-in-chief they consider reckless and unstable. I mean, look, man, going through what we just went through right there, it feels like we live in the Twilight Zone. It really does. Because it's so true that people, oh my God, unicorn, fairy dust, pie in the sky, far left silliness where they want tuition-free college. What are you, crazy? We can't afford that. Who's going to pay for it? Literally nobody said $700 billion for the military. Trump asked for a $54 billion increase, and we thought that was crazy. This is an $80 billion increase. They gave him more than what he asked for. What the fuck is that? And only 8 Democrats voted against it. Nobody brought up cost. Nobody brought up cost. Actually, I'm wrong. Excuse me. Only 8 senators in total voted against it. Some of them were Republicans. Bernie Sanders voted against it. I think Kirsten Gillibrand voted against it. And Rand Paul voted against it. And then I forget the others. Forgive me on that. It's not really a steel trap. It's trying to make it one, but it's hard. But everybody bitched about the cost of tuition-free college, when the cost of tuition-free college is less than just the increase that was given in military spending. So think about that. It's $700 billion for the military budget. The cost of free college is $47 billion. So it's less than the increase in the military spending. The increase was $80 billion. Nobody batted a fucking eyelash. And everybody attacks. Whenever it's anything for you, people say, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. What are we going to do? We get free college, single-payer healthcare. Well, we can't afford that. But for wars, endless, man. Endless amounts of money. And by the way, a crazier fact than all this, the cost of the program for the new F-35 fighter jet, because, you know, the previous one just not good enough, obviously. I mean, who are we going to fight ISIS's Air Force with? I mean, we obviously need new fighter jets. The cost of that program could nearly wipe out all student loan debt. We have a student loan debt crisis. And the cost of that program could nearly wipe out the debt. And it was all for a new fighter jet. It's just so fucking crazy, man. It's just so nuts. It just shows our priorities. War, it's baked into the cake. It's a blank check. It's baked into the cake. You can't even question it. Anything for the people, we can't afford it. What are we going to do here? And by the way, just final point on that. It's actually not true that we can't afford it, clearly. But it saves money. Most of these things that the so-called far left in the U.S. talks about, it doesn't even cost more money. It saves money. So for college, it is an investment in the future. And what happens is you educate a tremendous number of people. They all get out in the workforce. They end up making more money because they were just educated. And then they pay back for the free college and then some. So that's a win-win. It's a win for Medicare for all because it costs $32 trillion as opposed to $49 trillion if we don't do it because you get rid of the unnecessary for-profit price gouging middleman. So it's not even true that it costs a shitload of money to do the things that other modern nations have done. Guys, fucking Slovakia has free college. Oh, wait, Slovakia or Slovenia? My apologies for not knowing which one, but it's one of them. They have free college and they can do it. And you're to tell me we can't do it when the cost of tuition-free public college was less than the increase in the military budget. JusticeDemocrats.com, man. JusticeDemocrats.com.